starting with a 14-ounce block of firm tofu. I'm only going to use half of it. I've tried this recipe with silken tofu and extra firm tofu, but the best result is with the firm tofu. So I'm using half a block of that, about 7 ounces, and crumbling it and putting it into a blender. And to this, I'm going to add 2 green chilies. If you like extra hot, add more. This is really mild with the 2 green chilies. To that, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of milk. I used skim milk. And a pinch of turmeric powder, about 1/8 teaspoon, and a teaspoon of black salt, and 1 teaspoon of cumin powder and coriander powder each. Next, I'm adding half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Again, if you like this really spicy, add more. And I'm going to add a pinch of Asafoetida powder plus half a tablespoon of ginger paste. Now we're just going to blend everything up into a smooth paste. And after it's blended, it becomes a smooth paste. It's still kind of thick at this point. You don't want to add too much water right away because you can always, make it thinner, but you can't make it thicker again. So this is still quite thick at this point, and making the French toast with this thick batter is not going to work. So I'm going to add maybe about 1 tablespoon of, I used milk. So I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. So this looks like it's kind of coming together, and you don't want the batter to be, too thick, and you don't want it to be like really runny thin. So this looks like it's kind of about done. So we'll have to try it with the first batch and see how it works. So in a non-stick pan that's going on medium-low heat, I'm greasing it with a little bit of butter, and I'm using just a regular brown bread, whole wheat bread. For French toast, it's normally advised that you use a a thick cut bread, but I'm just using a regular one. So already this is looking like the batter is just a tad bit too thick, but we're going to give this a try. So I'm dipping the bread and then just putting it in the pan, letting it go for a few minutes on each side. And I'm flipping it over after a couple of minutes on one side, and then flipping it back over to see how it's done. The first batch is always a little it doesn't work too well. You have to adjust the heat and the consistency of the batter. As you can see on this one, all these white spots that you're seeing, that is because the batter is probably a little bit too thick. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to the next batch because this is just a tad bit too thick. So before you add the next batch though, make sure you give your pan a little bit of a wipe down, and then grease it again with butter. And I added 1 tablespoon more of water to the batter, and I'm gonna put the next batch in. Make sure that you coat the bread completely with the batter before adding it in. So we're gonna give this batch a try. And after a few minutes on the bottom side, we're gonna flip it over, and this one turns out to be much better, as you can see. And that's really it. That's our savory French toast Indian style. And just one last thing, if you do have an air fryer, I highly recommend that you put this in the air fryer at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 3 to 5 minutes just before serving. It really does make a difference in the texture. This one came out of the air fryer. It just makes it nice and firm, the texture. Just to show you the difference, the one on the left is with the air fryer, the one on the right, the wiggly one, is without the air fryer. So it really does make a difference. And that's it. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and say a little prayer, share the love, and I'll see you in the next video. And I serve this with some coriander chutney. It goes really great. Thank you for watching.